नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यास ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अबद्धेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी। Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 64, titled The Deliverance of King Nriga, text number 34. Hinasti Visham Attaram Vahanihi Adbihi Prashamyati Kulam Samulam Dahati Brahmaswa Arani Pavakaha Hinasti Vishamattaram Vaniradvi Prashamyati Kulam Samulam Dahati Brahmaswarani Pavaka Hinasti Vishamattaram Vaniradbi Prashamyati Kulam Samulam Dahati Brahmaswarani Pavaka Hinasti Vishamattaram Vaniradbi Prashamati Kulam Samulam Dahati Brahmaswarani Pavaka Mataji's. Hinasti destroys, Visham poison, Attaram the one who ingests, Vahaniya fire, Adbhiha with water, Prashamyati is extinguished, Kulam one's family, Samulam to the root, Dahati burns, Brahmasva a Brahmana's property, Arani whose kindling wood, Pavaka the fire. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Poison kills only the person who ingests it, and an ordinary fire may be extinguished with water. But the fire generated from the kindling wood of a Brahmana's property burns the thief's entire family down to the root. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti compares the fire ignited by stealing a Brahmana's property to the fire that blazes within the cavity of an old tree. Such a fire cannot be put out even with the water of numerous rainfalls. Rather, it burns the whole tree from within, all the way down to the roots in the ground. Similarly, the fire ignited by stealing a Brahmana's property is the most deadly and should be avoided at all costs. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishram Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamine Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhuya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Poison kills only the person who ingests it, and an ordinary fire may be extinguished with water. But the fire generated from the kindling wood of a Brahmana's property burns the thief's entire family down to the root. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, and this very threatening, warning, divine words are coming from the divine mouth of Lord Krishna. And whom is he warning? He is warning his friends, Yadus, who are there with him. And anyone, if he does this, what to speak about his self-destruction? His whole generation. So the analogy giver is that when there is a forest fire, we all know that when there is rain, the fire gets extinguished. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says it is not forest fire. This fire is like a fire which gets generated within a cavity of a tree. Now this fire cannot be extinguished by rain, water. That means it goes on from within and goes deep down up to the root and burns the... So this is the magnitude, the seriousness of, I don't know what type of serious crime did King Nriga do, but it is said it was very serious. At no cost anyone should do it. So there are some verses behind also that how it is compared to taking poison. So in one sense, King Nriga was a very pious king. He was not like the leader in modern society what we see. There it is very open thing, that a person is very corrupt, is doing everything for his own selfish interest, and everyone knows it is doing it. But here is a very pious king, very pure one sense. But then unintentionally, now it is not even intentional, just imagine, even not even intentional, there was something which happened which was beyond his control, but then he was responsible. So this karmic reaction is so complex. We talk about laws of karma. For every action there is a reaction. But it is so intricate, it is so complex. If we try with our intelligence to figure out, it is very difficult. But it is there. What they say, हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना क्या, वो जब वो चक्की पिसती है तो बहुत धीरे धीरे पिसती है, लेकिन कैसे पिसती है? When it grinds very slowly, but it grinds very fine. That means it is so subtle. So any one of us think that, come on, I am not such a bad person. I am not doing anything harm to anyone. I am living a pious life. I don't hurt anyone. I am very honest. But is it okay? But the laws of karma are so intricate that the person who thinks he can also be bound. And this is how Nriga had to face the reaction that he had to become a lizard, but then he had some very credits in his life, so the Lord personally had come to deliver him. But anyway, the Lord has to show this. So when he performs some Leela, he is also giving us instructions. It is not that this Leela is separate from our personal life. When we are hearing this, it is for us. How are we living? So human life is a life of responsibility. We have a lot of facilities, right? Human life means great facility, no? Are we animals? So we are superior than animals. Why? Because we have greater facility. We have very rational mind, logic. We want to ask why this is happening. So with that facility, what comes? Responsibility. Now you can't just take the facility and say, responsibility, I don't care. It's a serious responsibility. No one can escape. So even if someone is very pious, and he may say like that, it is said, there is a saying in English that honesty among the thieves. If a gang of thieves, they rob a bank and then they go far deep into the forest, and in a very secluded place they all sit together and they say that now we will divide this honestly. You think in the eyes of government they are honest? But they are saying we will divide it honestly. So any type of even pious activity, if it is not based on truth, what is the real truth, then it is part of a problem. So there is a problem. So this material nature is designed in such a way that there is a tendency for always transgression. You understand what is transgression? His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj, he gives an example. I think those who drive the car, they will have an experience. You're driving a car and then you see that there is a red signal. So red signal means what? You have to stop. So but then you see that no one is crossing and there is no policeman. So what is the natural tendency? To jump the signal. So that is transgression. So material nature, by some type of a force, it will make us act in some way that we will get bound. But in very civilized society, now it is said it is so subtle, we may not even understand, is it possible? So there is a story that how in a very civilized, so this comes in Mahabharata. So there were two farmers who got into some transaction, business. What was the transaction? One farmer bought the property of another farmer. Very nicely, everything was done. Maybe those days there may not be anything in writing. It is just verbal. Henceforth, this is your property. And he says, yes, this is mine, and they separate. Now the one farmer who bought this property, when he is tilling the land, he finds under the land a pot of treasure. What do you do? Modern society, what do you do, Gajanan? I bought my land, this is my land, and this is mine, obviously it is mine. This person, when he saw that there is something under the land, he started thinking, I only bought the land. I didn't buy some which was there under the land. So when he found it, what was his natural reaction? See the integrity, the character, so fine. He runs to that person. He said, I found this under the land when I was tilling. So this farmer, now he is also equally very fine integrity. He says, but I have sold the land. Yes, you have sold the land, but I only bought the land. But this I found under it. But this farmer says, no, once I sold the land, I sold the land. I have no right over anything. No, but I only bought the land. But this belongs to you. We say, no, this doesn't belong to me, this belongs to you. Can you understand the nature of conflict? Can you think about can there be a conflict like this? And someone has to resolve this conflict. Very, very strange. So this was the nature of conflict. So much truthful. Why? Because they were fearful. Because here it says that, it may appear that, well, but then there is a reaction. So they were very fearful. Even the Brahmanas. Here it is said about Brahmanas' property, but then Brahmanas, it is not there when they were given dakshina, they were always greedy for, they were very scared. They will take only what is needed. Even if it is little more than, they feel that I am taking little more than what I am needed, they are very scared. Yeah, so in Mahabharata you see that Brahmanas, when they are given this dakshina, they were called, they were given prasad, and what they were served in what type of utensil? Golden plates. Now when you take prasad of golden plates, then the plate belongs to you. You can take the plate. But these Brahmanas, when they will be taking the plates, when they are going back, they will be thinking, what will I do with this golden plate? I don't need this, and it is a burden. They will throw the plate in the forest. It will be just lying there. This is how Arjuna went to collect that. He had found that a lot of gold lying in. Arjuna is also called Dhananjay. So he went to find out, because somewhere in Himalayas, somewhere there are a lot of gold lying where Brahmanas have thrown it because they don't want it. So this is how this material nature is so intricate. We may say it's so, but still there is a force acting on every one of us. It's a force acting. But the material modes of nature are so it will make us act. You may say, I don't want to, but it will make you act. Unless you are careful, it will make you act. So it's you can't escape, you'll get caught up. For example, in the mode of goodness, a person would like to, he is taking pleasure in that, giving charity. He feels that I'm taking care of the poor people, I'm treating the sick. There is a pleasure in that, right? So that is a mode of goodness. Is it anything bad? It's good, isn't it? But then in the mode of passion, someone is taking pleasure in expanding, very ambitious, he's getting pleasure in that. And in the mode of ignorance, person likes to irresponsible, relax, intoxication, or the best thing is sleep. Whenever you get a chance, you sleep, oversleep. Now this is also one pleasure. I'm sure sleeping is a pleasure. Right? Get a chance, I'll go to sleep. Now this is the mode of ignorance. There is a pleasure, but there is a reaction, because human life, great responsibility. So how you use. So this material nature is designed in such a way that if we don't act properly, it causes bondage. Who thinks about all this? Where is the bondage? Can you see a bondage? So all these scriptures, when the acharyas they speak, it creates one type of a fear. Now fear is the beginning of wisdom. There's nothing wrong in being fearful. It's a wisdom. So there is a comparison that material nature, the way it is designed, it is like a spider web. How many of you have seen a spider web? It's in Bombay maybe, but it's very interesting and you should watch. What is the purpose of the spider web? Is to just trap the fly. You see how the fly gets trapped. Once the fly gets trapped, and see the fly is trying to escape out of it. And what is the result of that? You just see. The fly is trying, it is throwing its whatever appendages it has, when it's throwing it, it is creating more and more and more and more around, and in a very short time you see that the fly has no proper identity. It becomes like a bleb, and the spider comes. Of course, so the intricacy is on our own, we all are looking out for some solutions, and we all are trying, right? We take decisions. Don't we take decisions? There are several moments in our life we take decision. How we take decision? Oh, maybe this is what in our family we always have done like this. Maybe actually traditionally we do like this. My friends told me to do like this, or I felt like this, and you take a decision. But mind you, whatever decision we take, it may be also very nice. What did I do? No harm. I have not caused harm to anyone. But all these decisions can also be just like, getting more and more trapped. So it's not that we have to be very depressed about it. If you know what is truth, then there is no need to be depressed about it. But this is a fact. So that is why Prabhupada, he gives an example. How then, if it is so intricate, so complex, is there any way anyone can come out of it? Yes, of course, we are all here, all seekers of truth. How to come out of it? Prabhupada would give a very nice analogy. He will say, just like the leaf of lotus flower. And that also we don't get a chance to see, but you should see it. You see the leaf of a lotus flower, it grows in a marshy area. But you see the leaf has got some very mysterious coating. As soon as the water falls on the leaf, have you seen it? The water just slips out. You cannot. You just put the water, water slips out. You cannot remain on it. So Prabhupada is saying, well, we have to live in this world. So you can live, and same time you can see that you don't get bound. Very interesting thing. No, none of us would like to get bound. So how is it possible? Otherwise, as I said, this material modes of nature always makes us do something as a transgression. It may be not so sinful, it may be, but it is still within that purview of bondage. So as Rupa Goswami says that one thing is we are already facing reactions of our papa. I'm sure all of us in our life, are we not facing some reaction of our past life in the form of anything? It could be health issues, it could be mental problems, it could be relationship problems, or it could be some laws, or it could be natural disasters. These are reactions coming. Everyone is a victim. But there is another type of a reaction which is there within, it is waiting. Aprarabdha. Prarabdha is already you are experiencing. I'm stressed, why this happened? But aprarabdha is there within. It's in the form of kutam. It says kutam. Now kutam is what? Kutam means there is an inclination to do something sinful. Is there within. Now that kutam, it remains, it becomes a bijam. So bijam is how it comes in the form of desire. And that desire naturally will result in actions. So when you perform an action, there same time you perform it. You think once I performed an action, but when you perform that action, there is same time the kutam goes in again. That means the inclination is still there. It is not that once you performed one act, if it is sinful, that inclination has gone. The inclination is remains. So that inclination again comes out in the form of desire, then action. So kutam, bijam, action. So this way cycle can be so intrinsic that it's very difficult. So just like that fly which is trapped, unless he gives up, he said, I don't think, I need help. So that is what is hearing from acharyas. When we hear, because they can see exactly what is the problem. So when they hear and we act, so we are out of this trap. Very complex, but very encouraging also. So this is how it becomes such a conditioned state. The very interesting thing is, you ask people, especially if you have come across any alcoholic, one who is addicted, if he's little sober, you ask him, how did it start? It always starts as a social drinker. Social means, well, I have the choice. I have the choice. कल नहीं चाहिए, कल नहीं पीऊँगा मैं. So there is a choice. There is a choice means you can still decide. So you are better off. But then, slow and slow, you become so dependent, there is no choice. Now there is no choice. When you become an addict, is there a choice? You totally become dependent. That I cannot live without this. When I cannot live without this, is there a choice? Complete addiction. So all these little things, how it becomes more and more stronger is how in this contest, that what we are hearing today about, how this is like a poison, it is very dangerous, it can very destroy. To those who are very civilized, who have understood, they will say, okay, now I know, I will not do anything sinful. So I will do some actions which is very pious. So that is called karma kandis. Means they are doing good, nice activities because I don't want to suffer. Anyway, this place is full of suffering, I'll go and enjoy the heavenly planets. So this is pious activity, but the what is the desire? To enjoy. But then someone who is a little more advanced, he thinks, no, this place is full of suffering. Everywhere you go is suffering. Even heavenly planets you have to eventually, as soon as the pious credits goes down, I have to again come back. So I have to get liberated from here. So he does such, through proper knowledge, he wants to get out of it. And he is called a jnani. So that is jnana yoga. The first one is a karma kandi. He is trying to connect, but so the jnani by his own this thing is trying to figure out this is place. And he can go up. He go to one level and he can only experience the sat feature of Sat Chit Anand. Sat feature he can understand, yes, this is eternal. I don't want to get into this cycle. But then there is a dhyana yogi. He does so much tapasya and then he has a better aspect, that is, he gets full knowledge about it. So he understands the chit factor. But bhakti yogi, now we are here followers of our bhakti yogis, you may think, but this is what is bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga, how is it supreme? Here it is not talking about just getting liberated. Bhakti yoga is the one who is talking about reciprocating. So when you say reciprocation, that means there has to be a personality. So as Nriga, he was a karma kandi, so in spite of all his things, still he got bound. But because he has done some type of a bhakti activity, so he had this opportunity to come out of it. So commonly in our it's a daily experience that this understanding is there that bhakti yoga means it is something very sentimental. People are very emotional. But actually Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. Because all other yogas, they take you to one level. But Bhakti Yoga transcends all because he has a direct reciprocation. Prabhupada gives this example of all other yogas, they are like taking shelter, just like the way the young one of a monkey is trying to hold on to his mother. It's also one type of shelter. But when the monkey jumps from here and there is a chance that, because the young one is holding on to this monkey. But Bhakti Yogi is like the young one of a kitten, how the cat holds on when it is taking the kitten from here to there, fully it is holding on. And the most interesting thing about Bhakti is it can be performed by anyone. You don't have to renounce this world. You don't have to give up. As it's Karma Kanda, it is said it is done for recreation, and Jnanis and Dhyanis are doing for rejection of all this material, renunciation. But a Bhakti Yogi is only reciprocating. So in reciprocation, he is always blissful. Because that bliss is not the bliss of this material existence. And the nature of bhakti is such that sometimes it can be misunderstood. For example, now Bhishma Pitama was fighting against the Lord. One sense, isn't it sinful? Now we talk about sinful. One sense is sinful, isn't it? He was shooting the Lord and he was against him. That means he is against the Lord. Now we all know that what was the nature of Bhishma. So it is not the activity what you do. Even though Bhishma is still now misunderstood. People still talk about Bhishma. That how can Bhishma be like this? But Bhishma didn't care. He says, as far as I am serving my Lord Krishna's mission, I don't care. He is willing to go through anything. Now Bhishma knew it. That there is no way you can win this war. He told Duryodhan, if you want, in one day, I can kill millions of people. He has the power. But rest assured, you will never win the war. He told Duryodhan this. But then, we all know, so in his heart, Bhishma, well, he was fighting, but in his heart, he knew that he was purely doing everything for the service of. So even if you are on the wrong side, but the intention, that doesn't mean that person does something wrong and thinks that, oh, I was remembering Krishna and I did it. You go and do something wrong. Here it was Bhishma's nature was such that the Lord makes us understand that even if you are one of the greatest person, the most powerful person, but if you are on the wrong side, you will be destroyed. There is no way anyone. So this is the message. And Bhishma was the instrument. So but Bhishma had no reaction. He had no reaction for anything what he did. He went back to the spiritual world. So this is how bhakti in this context, like whatever we are learning, this yoga means to get connected. Of all the yogas, bhakti yoga, how it is something very natural. Why it is something natural? You are not been told to give up. Of course there is an ashram, but again it is not dependent on the ashram. It is not that you have to be in this ashram. You can be in any ashram. You can be any profession. You can be a child, you can be a housewife, you can be a lawyer, you can be an engineer, or you can be accountant, you can be king. Any social strata. But then a person performs bhakti. He is highest. Why? Because he comes out of all these intricacies. Of course, it is finally our intention or attitude. It is not what we do externally, it is with what intention it is done. One time I heard this example, very, very nice. We have many housewives here. It is said that usually a housewife likes to keep her house very clean and decorate it. But most of the time, what is it? I mean, material consciousness is those who come to my house, they should appreciate. They should say that, oh, the house is so clean. Very natural, right? Now the activity is same. But if an housewife is thinking, the Lord is residing in this house, so it is His house, so I have to keep it very clean. And she puts her heart and soul in cleaning the house. So where do you think bhakti is? The activity is same, no? The propensity is same. The inclination is same. It's an activity. So see how deep and profound is bhakti. See the opportunity. Anyone can perform and they can make progress and come out of all these things. Of course, in Srimad Bhagavatam we have that story about these Brahman Patnis. Now what was the quality of their husbands? They were so expert, so knowledgeable. They knew every mantra, shloka, they can pronounce everything, but their intention was some results, that if we do this, we will have something higher destination. And same time, the wives, they didn't know any shlokas. They didn't have any disciples, they didn't have any followers. Their wives, they had just heard about Krishna. They heard about Krishna's glories. And when they got an opportunity to serve, what was the quality of their service? They just put their heart and soul and they just ran without any fear. This is something not very social. They took everything what is prepared and they ran to Krishna. Now who was Krishna pleased with? Obviously the Brahman Patnis. And here the Karma Kandis, they are chanting their mantra, they are so strict in their this and... But again, see that greatness of bhakti. Because they were wives, the husbands also got the benefit. Just because... So when the husband realized, they felt, my God, what is the use of all my austerity and all my knowledge and all my tapasya and waste. What did he do? He didn't take him out. But Brahman Patnis. So this is the nature of bhakti in this context. So we are all trying to follow. Prabhupada has left behind this legacy and great opportunity that how we develop this. So here in this verse it is said that anyone who steals the property of a Brahmana. But in this context we should not forget that this material nature is also called mother nature and is also called Dhaivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya. Mama Maya means what? What does it mean? Mama means mine. So whom does it belong to? So this nature belongs to, so whose property it is? So if you don't have knowledge, nature is easily available. So who is exploiting? All the mining and the drilling and the deforestation and the what you do with all these fertilizers, you throw it on the... How much exploitation is going on? No one sees that whose it is. It is mine. And when it is done like this, the results, as it is said here, just like a fire, it will go down up to the root. So we may think, well, how is it? But we can already see, but you see that there will be war. There will be war for what? For drinking water. You'll be shocked, no? Can there be war for drinking water? But then in the future there will be. Because there will be so much pollution, you will have to really fight for drinking water. So that will be the reaction of rampant exploitation. So when these type of exploitations, they go on without proper having knowledge, of course there are a lot of discussions going on. There are IITians, there are professors, there are judges, there are politicians, there are scientists, they all come together. How do we solve this problem? of environmental hazard. Why this is happening? But don't you think it is just a symptom of a disease? By treating the symptom, can the disease be cured? You treat the symptom. There's a boil. You treat the boil. But the infection is in the blood. So all these problems, what we see in the newspaper, what we read, now this nature belongs to Supreme Brahmana. Not just one Brahmana here. And anyone exploiting, usurping, the reaction will be there. So what do? Of course, we should speak about it. We speak in our own. That is what is spiritual values, education is very much needed. This topic is not spoken. No one talks about it. We talk about solution for problem, no doubt. Solution also has its own role. But will that be a proper solution? So as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there is only one problem in this old world. Lack of lack of this knowledge, God consciousness. So to end with, this is how Bhakti is very, very special. Many times people ask, oh well, I become a Bhakti Yogi, then I will lose ambition in my life. They are very fearful. But there is no question about losing you don't have to lose your enthusiasm for ambition. Whatever is God-given gift can be used. Arjuna gave up. He said, no, I don't want to give up. So one sense, yes, he gave up. He says, I don't want. But what happened after he heard Bhagavad Gita? Same whatever skills he had, how did he use it? So that is a greatness. So he's a warrior. He's using all his martial arts and he's working so intensely. Isn't it devotional service? See the variegatedness. See how it is. That's what Prabhupada meant. Be here in this world. That is Jesus Christ said, but don't be of this world. Or Prabhupada said, just like the leaf of a lotus flower. How can you live there but still don't get? So there is it's an art. It's not something we do it on our own. We need help. We need guidance. We need, because very intricate. These things are very intricate. On our own we say, Maya can present as something very divine. And we may say, yes, can justify. So we need good sadhu sangha. And then, in all circumstances, when there will be some difficulties will come. Why it will come? As we said, bija, kuta, we don't know, aprarabdha, prarabdha, what. But when it comes with proper understanding, a person is joyful. You will not like to be joyful in all situations. It's not so easy. But you can. So just to understand this point about, can you be joyful? This is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed it. Yes, you can be joyful. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Varanasi, so they were all impersonalists. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing on the street. So naturally he was criticized. You are a sannyasi dancing on the street? Sannyasi should be sitting in the ashram and doing a dhyan. He's studying scriptures. That is higher. What is this, Something very cheap, So then when he was invited, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there were thousands of Prakashananda Saraswati's disciples, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he washed his feet and he sat there because he was the Supreme Lord. So there was so much effulgence coming from his body, and these people were impersonalists, they were getting attracted to that Brahman effulgence. So they saw, this is someone special. So Prakashananda Saraswati came and said, you can't sit here, you come and sit with us. And then he asked this question, you are a sannyasi and you are in our sampradaya. Why are you all this chanting and with common people you are just moving around? We are jnanis, we should be sitting and studying and understanding. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, when I asked my spiritual master, he said, this knowledge and all you will not understand. You just chant the holy name. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, so I chanted the holy name. So when I started chanting holy name, I developed some ecstatic signs. So I was confused. I said, why am I developing ecstatic signs? So I went back to my guru. Well, what is happening? He said, that is perfection. So one sense, holy name, very easily available, and all this complexity of karma, kanda, laws of nature, intricacies, bondage. Remember the spider web. And here is devotional service, doing with proper intention. It takes you above. How does it sound? Very hopeful. So this is the greatness of how the Lord 500 years back came and He gave it to everyone. Everyone. No one can say that I cannot do it. Everyone, whatever profession you are in, it is just how internally you connect. But that connection also needs effort. Why? Because material modes are very strong. There is a force to push us away. And all those aprarabdha bhijas, is there or not? Who knows what birth, which bija, when it is going to come? But it is said when you chant, that even those bija, kuta, they all get fried. That means they will not manifest. So this is the great blessing in this human life. We have great facility, same time there is a responsibility, along with that this knowledge, Srimad Bhagavatam, and also instructions, if you do like this. So how to be, keep it simple and keep good association and do your activities, and we know that there is a high chance that you will not get trapped. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.